So now what we're going to be working on is our mashed yams. First thing I want to do is roast this garlic. We're going to throw this garlic in a heat-proof pan. We're going to add a little oil in there, just a touch. And then what I'm going to do is grab some foil. I'm going to cover this up. You can also use a lid if you have a lid for that pan. You're going to cover this up nicely. So what we're going to do here is throw this on indirect heat, which means the center is off, the right is on, the left is on. We're going to drop this directly over that grill on indirect heat. We're going to try to, I started off on high heat on the right and the left. Right now this temperature is about 500 degrees or so. So what you want to do is bring it down to about 350, leave it in there for about 45 minutes, uncover it, let it brown off a little bit, and then you're going to take the cloves off of there. This is going to be for our end product, which is going to be the mashed yams. So now what we want to do is submerge your yams in liquid, about maybe an inch above the yams. You're going to add some salt in there. To this pot we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of salt. I'm also going to add some multicolored peppercorns. What this allows, it allows us the water to actually give your yams flavor. This way at the end you don't have to add too much salt because all the salt's in there. We're going to bring it to a boil for about 45 minutes or until the yams are nice and tender, soft tender, fork tender. That's what you want. And then we're going to take them off. We're going to add some cilantro. We're also going to add some cream and some crunchy bacon. So now what we're going to be doing is the bacon for our yams. There's a few ways of doing your bacon. Way number one is grabbing your bacon, dropping it directly on the sheet pan. Well, I actually use some foil there. This is going to make it a lot easier to clean when this bacon comes off that grill. So what you want to do is drop this bacon on indirect heat. You can do it with the residual heat of the grates, turn off the center, or you can do it with the center completely off and the right and the left hand side on. But when you close that lid, if you do use a residual heat, make sure you keep your eye on this bacon and flip it constantly, because if you don't, the bottom portion will burn on you. But if you do the indirect heat with no residual heat in the center, just make sure every 10 to 15 minutes you go in there and flip it to make sure it browns off and becomes nice and crispy. Now, if you don't want to do it this way, and if you have an Odeon, a cross-ray infrared grill, like the one we have over here, then we can definitely throw these directly on there, and that's one of the best things about that Odeon, about the cross-ray that we carry. No other grill, you can throw bacon directly on it and have the same effects or final product as you have here. So now what we're going to do is grab the bacon and directly put it on that grill. You're going to cook your bacon beautifully. At this point I can actually close that lid, let it do its thing for about maybe 30 seconds, and then I'm going to go in there, give it a little quick flip, finish it off this way. Just keep on turning it until it browns off to your desired doneness. Again, some people like their bacon maybe a little soft, some people like it extra crunchy. For this dish here, I do want this bacon extra crunchy. Why? Because I want that texture in those mashed potatoes, in those mashed yams. So once your bacon is done, if you can notice, it's nice and crispy, it's nice and brown. You're going to take it off that heat. These two are done. If you look at that one, that's pretty much done. These three need a little more time. That one looks good. Throw these off a little. Take them off. You're going to grab your bacon, and all you're going to do is chop it. If you want bigger chunks, you can make it in chunks. I am going to chop it up nice and fine, or slice it nice and fine. This way it distributes flavor throughout the whole mashed yam. So now our garlic, after about 45 minutes, what you want to do is uncover it. If it's not as brown as this, it actually browned out beautifully. I'm not going to have to uncover that for another minute or so. I'm just going to leave it just like so and let it cool off. Turn off the sides, make sure the center is off, and just when this is done, we can definitely just take these out, if you notice, and put them on a cutting board and just chop them up, put them in our yams. So now we're going to strain our yams, strainer, and we are going to use this same pot here. Why? Because it's still nice and hot, and it's going to keep your yams or mashed potatoes nice and hot for quite a while. If you utilize a technique I'm going to teach you here in a second. You're going to grab your favorite potato masher, just mash your yams, just like so. Now we're gonna add our bacon, crispy bacon. Again, bacon has a lot of salt too, so don't add too much salt to this yet. Once you finish doing your mix, taste it to see where the salt or the sodium content is at. Add a little cilantro in there. Add our heavy whipping cream. So we're gonna mix this up. We're gonna taste this to see where the sodium content is at. This is gonna allow me to maybe add more salt, maybe not. It might need a little pepper in there as well. We'll see right now. That is just delicious. Doesn't need any more salt. Doesn't need any more pepper. It's very well seasoned because of salt. In the water, I put that salt in there while it was boiling. I also put that pepper in there as well, so just enough seasoning in there. What you want to do, this technique here, great for Thanksgiving, great for Christmas. This pot back here is hot. It's extremely hot. I can't really leave my hands on there too long. It's that hot. So this is going to retain its heat very well if you utilize commercial plastic wrap. And what you want to do is grab that plastic wrap and tightly create a seal. What this is going to create here is a vacuum seal. So when you close this up tightly, you're going to grab your lid. Because if you just put your lid on top of here by itself and no plastic, there's going to be seeping air and steam out of there, which is going to make your potatoes cold. This will keep your potatoes nice and warm for at least maybe 30 minutes. If you put it right next to your grill where it's nice and warm, it should remain hot for at least another 45 minutes or so. Best way, especially if you have that stove top completely full, if you have stuff in your grill, if you have stuff in your oven, utilize this technique. It's great saver. So once the garlic is ready to go, there's a few ways of doing this. You can smash all the garlic out if you want. That way though, sometimes I find that you get a lot of this skin in your food. So what I like doing personally myself is just grab some toothpicks, just take your cloves completely out of there with your toothpicks, and it should just slide right out of your clove. At this point you can serve them just like this, use them as a spread, or what we're going to do here is just chop this up, and this is going to go in our yam mixture. So now we're going to finish off our yams here, and if you're going to notice, the steam's still actually going to come out of it. It's still nice and warm. Actually, it's still nice and hot. And to finish it off, all I'm going to do is get our roasted garlic, just drop it right in there, and we're going to mix it nicely here. Oh, it smells delicious right now. The garlic, the bacon. The color is just tremendously beautiful. Now our yams are ready to go. The reason I'm doing it this way here is you want a contrast in colors and you want height in your dish. Makes it look really nice. If you were doing a bigger platter, I would just definitely put a big amount of mashed yams on the bottom. Put your turkey on top and put the cranberry sauce on top. This way your turkey on top gets some love with the cranberry sauce, and you have all these different flavors combining. You have salty, you have a little spicy, you have some smokiness in there as well. So there's a lot of different flavors and actually textures in this dish. And there you have it, guys. This is going to be your mashed yams with bacon and cilantro, roasted garlic. We have our brine turkey breast and our smoked habanero cranberry sauce. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.